Hey guys, welcome back to the CulePodcast. Welcome back to another match reaction. And unfortunately, guys, I am not coming to you guys with good news, with good sensations, with good vibes. Barcelona lose to Las Palmas at home, 2-1. It's a bad loss. It's a bad loss because now with this defeat against Las Palmas, Barcelona they only have 1 point in their last possible and out of a possible nine. And so in our last three matches, we have only been in La Liga, we've only been able to get 1 point. We're so cooked, man. I'm crying. It's bad. It's bad. This is one of the most worst Pedri games I have seen in recent years. Pedri, he did not play well. I would say the entire team did not play well as a whole. But guys, if you guys do want to join, feel free. Go on X, click on the streamer link, and you will be able to join. But let's talk about this Las Palmas defeat. Let's talk about it. Let's look at the lineup in which Hansi Flick he did opt to field. In goal, it was Iñaki Peña, and I don't think Iñaki Peña he covered himself in glory. I would both of the goals that we did concede from Las Palmas, I wouldn't say they've been necessarily his fault, but Iñaki Peña he could have done a lot better. Especially maybe in that Sandro chance in the first goal that we do concede. If Iñaki Peña, his position is a little bit better, he can have a very good save. And, in the second goal, maybe he could have done a little bit more to deny Fábio Silva. But then again, Hector Fort was beaten. Alejandro Balde, he did start in the left back position, but roughly in the 26th minute, after a clash against Sandro, funny enough, who did score, he did get stretchered off. And as you guys can see in this image, let me make sure everything's fine right here. But Balde, he was stretchered off, and Balde is absolutely fine. This is very, very good news. And Balde, when he did come off, you did see that we did miss him. Alejandro Balde offers so much on that left-hand side, and with his aptness, you did see it. Inigo Martinez partnered up in the center back position alongside Pau Kuwarsi. Jules Koundé in the right back position. In the midfield, you had Pedri and Gavi at the base. Gavi had a solid hour. Pedri completed the full 90. And up top, you had Paulo Torre, Fermin Lopez, Raphinha, and Lewandowski. What's up, NJ? Good to see you, man. Um, Barcelona lose to Las Palmas. Not the best scoreline. You did predict the 2-1, but
I know.
unfortunately, you predicted 2-1. Unfortunately, it wasn't a Barcelona victory. Instead, it was a Las Palmas victory, 2-1. But first, what did you make of the lineup that Hansi Flick opted for? Did you like it, or did you say, it wasn't convincing?
It was it was decent to be honest. Like because having Gabby there for like energy to like cut the plays for our team. Yeah, it was a good team to be honest. It wasn't even that bad. It's just that when what do you call this? When Baldy got off, that's when everything just went downhill for us. Because
Okay.
because again again I told you like Fermin and Tori can't just do much. They can't for their age because they're not the same as level as Olmo. They're
Um,
still
I,
young.
I, Absolutely, but then again, they're completely different players.
Exactly.
What's up, Sake? Welcome. Good to see you again. Thoughts on Hansi Flick's lineups? Did you have any, worries or things that you didn't like? I personally thought, looking at this lineup, Hansi Flick, he fielded his best 11. Lamine Yamal, he wasn't going to start him. Ferran Torres wasn't going to start him as well. Both of these players coming from injury. You could have potentially maybe started Frankie de Jong at the base. You could have started Eric Garcia. But the thing is, Gavi, he played well, in the past weekend against Celta Vigo. And in Brest, he had 20 or 30 minutes, in which he did have a good cameo. And I would say in the hour that he did play, he did have one good occasion. He had one good interception, which led Raphinha to have a goal scoring opportunity. But unfortunately, he did hit the crossbar. But what did you make of the lineup? Did you like it?
I think it was the best lineup that Hansi could have played. But I think one half of the season is done. One third of the season is done, and to be honest, whenever we have rotated our players, doesn't matter whether one player or two player, we have dropped points.
That is true.
Every
That
time
is
we have rotated, we have dropped points. I can see why now Hansi Flick is not rotating more players and giving other player chances unless we are leading. Because if you think about it, can you tell me any player who has came off the bench and performed better or contributed to the team rather than who are starting in the lineup?
Um, I'm
None.
thinking. I'm thinking recently the performance from Pablo Torre against Brest, but the thing is, Barcelona were already winning 3-0. You're looking at the
Again, he
performance.
got again he got his chance today. Whenever he started
Yeah.
again today, I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying that the player who are coming from the bench are not providing what they should be providing in a club like Barcelona. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. We
that's
haven't got a
that's why we need to
bench
get
depth.
players in the summer.
We
That's
do.
why
Yeah,
that's why we have a fire sale this summer, and that we buy players. Not only can't just rely everything to Masia.
No,
You
we
have to
can. We
balance
can.
it out.
But I will say though that as a backup, you don't want to be spending big money on a backup if you
Yeah,
are going to be
obviously,
buying a
yeah,
player.
but again, if you want to compete, for the coming years, you have to buy players.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Barcelona, they should definitely be looking for options in the market. Um, and this is the worry because 1 point out of a possible 9 in our last 3 matches. That's bad. We have
I
single-handedly
like it
turned a
though.
one-horse
Three
race
horse.
into now a legitimate 3-horse race.
I
Atletico
like it.
Madrid
I
is now
like
a
that.
factor. That's absolutely true. Now, for example, as a neutral, you like it, but as a Barcelona fans, I do not like that whatsoever. I
I'm a
want
Barca fan
Barcelona to.
and a football fan. I like it both, man. It's amazing. Because
You,
again,
you
because
like it
again,
when it's
I
tight?
like it, I like it, but only if we win it at the end.
yeah, obviously, yeah,
Okay, okay.
obviously the goal is to we win it, but right now
Oh.
it makes it more entertaining and more like competitive. It makes every it's gonna make Simeone, Ancelotti, and Flick, think
Yeah,
harder now.
that's what we were saying. That we are scoring 3 goals and 4 goals. It is
Yeah, that's what.
becoming a little
Yeah,
bit boring.
that's what I said earlier. That's what I said earlier in the past stream. Like we need to score a lot of goals to have the goal difference.
Yeah. But as Van Lee said, looking at the table right now, as you guys can see, Barcelona they are top. But if Real Madrid they win their 2 games in hand, they're going to be above us by 2 points. And then when you look at Atletico Madrid, if they win their game, which is going to be, I believe, hold on, let me see, it's going to against Real Valladolid later on today. So we're going to see where they are in the table, but they're only going to be 1 point behind us. And when you look at the fantastic start that Barcelona they've had, in the season, all that work, and especially that performance that we put in the Bernabeu, and that gap that we had, it absolutely has completely disappeared, man. Yeah, obviously a 3-horse race would be amazing if we win at the end,
Like,
but if we do lose, then obviously we're not
like I
going
said,
to be.
I knew this wasn't gonna last long, but people were like, on their honeymoon phase. I thought people, this ain't gonna be sustainable in the end. It's gonna be people gonna have, a check in real life again. Telling you right
Mhm.
now, I thought people,
Also,
people,
all
people, they want to listen.
What happened,
People didn't
second?
want to listen. People didn't want to listen on what I said. Like, bro, this ain't gonna be forever. Like, we're gonna lose games.
No, absolutely, absolutely. I don't think.
no, I was saying that I was just watching the replay of the second game, and it was
Yeah,
Javier Munoz that we discussed at the halftime. He was the one who gave the ball for the Ruiz Silva, goal,
yeah.
second goal for Las Palmas, and
Hmm.
it was Frankie De Jong who was defending Javier Munoz. It
I
was, I
didn't want
think,
to
both
talk about that.
mistake of both the players. I think it was Frankie De Jong mistake. He didn't block the ball because he had a lot of time. He cut inside, then he gave the pass,
You
and
cannot
also Hector
solely
Ford
you
could
cannot
have done
solely
better there.
blame it on the Frankie De Jong. Everybody underperformed. You can't solely blame the Frankie De Jong at all.
No, no,
No,
I am
but
saying only because of
Everybody underperformed.
I am only saying because about the goal. Hector Ford also could have done better there. It was his mistake also.
Yeah,
mhm.
blame Raphinha and Pedri for not covering it up and made Frankie De Jong look like the villain. Simple as that.
You guys are talking about this
Everybody
chance
played
right
bad.
here. You guys are talking about this chance. No, the whole team played bad. The whole team played
Yeah,
bad. That's
everybody played bad.
absolutely true. That's absolutely true. But I will say though that Frankie De Jong, he should have blocked that cross. The intensity was lacking from the players. Yes, Frankie De Jong gives you control, but as you say, no energy. There's no intensity from Frankie De Jong. I'm
Yeah,
looking at Frankie
that's
De
not
Jong
I'm just
that's
saying
not how
that
you plays,
if it
bro.
was
Wait,
Casado, he
guys,
would have blocked it.
one at a time, so we don't like overlap each other. Um, you
That's
know,
that's
Frankie
not
De
how
Jong
he
when he does
plays,
play.
man.
No. Regardless, when you come to Barcelona, you have to give intensity. It doesn't matter if
Yo, bro, Ajax and that and
if you're a
Holland, bro, he
controller,
doesn't
you
play like
have to
that.
give intensity. You have to be aggressive. You have to give energy whenever you are on the team. That's a basic requirement. Gerard Martin, who we say he's not the quality technical of let's say
Yeah,
of a Balde
because
or a Frankie
they're
De
both
Jong.
different players.
It
That's the
doesn't matter. It
difference.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it
It
does,
doesn't.
bro.
It doesn't
No,
matter, man.
Both
It's
it
Ajax
minimum.
and
doesn't matter.
Holland,
You come to the
he plays
team, you have to
Effort
show
Holland and
effort is
Ajax.
minimum, man.
Bro, when you look,
exactly
but if you watch
effort.
football properly, you see that Ajax and
No, no,
Frankie De
no.
Jong, that's not his play style. But you guys are forcing him to play like that kind of play style. He's
No,
not that kind of player.
I'm
Simple as
not
that,
saying.
bro.
No,
I'm not
man.
saying that.
Even today, even Pablo Torre was pressing like crazy, man.
I'm not saying that he has to be a Gavi covering the pitch like crazy. All I'm saying is that when you're defending, show intensity. When you have to mark a man, be
Have you
aggressive.
watching it?
Don't.
Have you watching
don't
in Ajax in Holland? He does not play like that at all.
I don't
don't.
care, man. Then
So he doesn't
then
have the
don't
team.
start him. He doesn't
He
want to
doesn't.
Doesn't
play
matter
like that.
because you don't watch football after Barcelona. Simple as that, bro.
No. But NJ, for example, just look at the goal that we can see against Celta. Frankie De Jong was a passenger. He was ball
Yes, in
watching.
Celta,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, for sure, 100%,
Effort is
yeah.
something that is
And
non-negotiable.
Elias, it is not the first time we saw entirety of last season.
It's not the first time. Defending Frankie is insane. You can tell the energy and the flow of the game changes when he comes on. This has been a Frankie problem for years.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I'm not defending Frankie. I'm just saying that's how he plays, bro.
Oh, okay. So then we should never have him in midfield. If a player
So
cannot give effort, I'm sorry, he should never play again. You know,
That's
and
it's
he doesn't
okay.
have because he's not built like Gavi or Pedri. It's simple as that.
It's not an
Look, do you
excuse,
not see
man.
that?
It is not an excuse for to say that that's how the player plays. It is not an excuse.
I agree with you
Because
guys
everybody
here.
is
I'm
not the
sorry.
same, bro. Because Gavi is different compared to like Frankie De Jong.
No,
Yes.
no.
Obviously, as a player, you gotta play defense, obviously. But he doesn't have the drive as Frankie. As the same as Gavi or Pedri. Simple as
And
that, bro.
that's shameful. That's shameful. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You're at
bro,
Barcelona.
L-
Every
Look
single
at it.
player on that team should be giving 100% and 100% intensity. I'm not saying each player's intensity is going to be the same, but you should not be looking as a passenger. I should not be looking at you and saying, "Hey, you're not giving effort." Like
yeah. I'm not defending
look
Look
at
Frankie
at
De
what
Jong
you
at
Pedri.
all. I'm just saying that's how
You
he
know,
plays.
and under Javi or before last season. Look at Pedri. People were also saying the same thing about Pedri that he doesn't give effort off the ball. Now look at him. Look
Yeah,
at Pablo Torre in this match. He was pressing like crazy.
yeah, good for Pabitori because he missed minutes. Good for him. But I'm not defending Frankie De Jong. I'm saying that's how he plays, but he's been like that ever since in the Ajax days. He never.
well, I mean, that's okay. So then the topic should be he should never play again because I'm sorry, Frankie De Jong.
He should never play, but he'll play though. That's the thing though.
No,
He'll play. He'll
okay,
play.
okay, but then we're gonna see things like this where he's allowed to put in a cross because he's not aggressive in the defending, and when that's
Well, it
partnered
is what
up
it
with
is.
mistakes,
You gotta
for
live with it.
example, on the
You
defending, we're
gotta
gonna
live with
concede
it.
goals. We're gonna
You gotta
concede
live with
goals.
it.
Concede against
Just say the replay of the second game, and you will realize what he was doing.
Yeah, I know,
uh,
bro. I was watching the game every minute of it.
no, and it's not
I
only
seen him
that.
make
For
a
example,
mistake.
just look at the games in which Frankie De Jong has played a big part. When you look at the games against Red Star, when you look at the games against Real Sociedad, he started in that game. When you look at the game
Yeah, I
against
know.
Vigo,
Because again, I told
you're
you
looking
because
at this game every single time Frankie De Jong he comes on. Barcelona, they drop intensity, man, and this is why Marc Rasado simple starts ahead of him. It's that
yeah,
simple.
obviously because yeah, but I know this competition, but again, if you ever watch Frankie De Jong in the past until now, you know that the way he plays is different. He slows down everything. He knows because he likes to control the game. He doesn't have the same motor as Casado or Gagi. Simple as that. But everybody knows in the football world that the way Frankie plays is different compared to like Pedri at all. Simple
I,
as
I,
I
that.
mean,
I,
there are
I
multiple, there are
He
multiple players in the world who controls the game. There is Barella, Petri. There are multiple
yeah.
players in
But again,
multiple
I told you
teams,
many
but
times he plays different.
everyone
He
should
slow
give a
down the
minimum
game.
effort.
He
It
likes
is
to.
not. It is not
I
like
told you many times,
this
bro.
is
He
how we
slows down
play.
the
Then
game,
it is
bro.
a end of topic. There is no point of discussion. That's the reason that this is how we play. Then what is the point?
yeah.
I'm not defending. I am not defending for anything. I'm saying that's how he.
No, we,
That's
we,
how
we
he
we
plays.
understand your point. You understand your point, but then again, we disagree that play style dictates effort. Your play style, regardless of how you play, does not mean that you should be not giving effort, and not giving the same intensity as other players. But let's not focus too much on this because
Look at what
there's
Danny
other
said.
topics.
Rightfully so. Like back then, I said Frankie profile. We needed that back then, but now since we play flick style, yeah, it doesn't fit. Simple as that. Yeah,
Hmm.
I said that many
Gundogan left
times.
Barca because Flick will not play him because he is not as intense. So Frankie Young should do
Exactly.
the same. Pedri is not intense, but he learned it. I mean, when you look at the amount of running and the amount of
Exactly
pressing that
my
Pedri
point.
does,
Yeah,
Pedri, he runs like crazy, and
yeah,
he
but
you know
again,
he is a player who you would
yeah,
say
because Freddy
controls the
has the
tempo.
freedom now. Because when you're playing the 10, he's so limited at the 10. That's why that's why probably the double pivot works so well. But again,
Well,
I'm just saying that.
Frankie's
I'm just
positioning
saying
does
that
not exist.
I'm just saying that whenever Frankie plays, he looks like a old Busquets who was playing like
Yeah,
that in these
that's the
last
thing. He likes to
season.
slow
That's what
down.
I'm going to
That's
say.
the problem. Yeah, I've been saying this all the time. He doesn't
And
go.
that's not a profile problem, and that is not a problem of how he plays. That is just shit play.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's how he plays, man. He's been like that in Ajax as well. He doesn't.
Okay.
Then you are
Oh,
saying he's a shit. You are basically saying he's a shit player.
No, he's not a shit player. I said that's how he plays football. Like every football fan knows this. That's how he plays in Ajax and Holland. Like he's
yeah,
slow. He doesn't like
precisely.
to go.
Oh,
He won't take his time.
okay, okay. But guys,
I
we've been on
mean,
this topic.
I just expect better from a 80 million player
Absolutely.
and
I mean,
30,
then he
40
has to
million
play
salary
also.
player.
Absolutely, absolutely. But let's not focus on this too much because we have other things to talk about. And obviously, Vanley, this comment is true. The gap between Frankie De Jong and Marc Gasol shouldn't be this glaring. You expect Frankie De Jong to be doing
Again,
much
two
better.
different players. Yeah,
Regardless, he should be doing much better. And if he puts in
yeah,
these
you're right. Yeah, he
performances,
has
I'm
to do
sorry, you're
better.
not gonna be you're not gonna be playing at all. You're not gonna be playing at all. Like, what point is there if you're going to come up? You can't even control the game. Barcelona, they concede 2 goals when you come on. No, actually, not 2 goals. They concede 1 goal when you come on. Um, but it is worrying. Frankie De Jong's performances in Barcelona. But then again, it's not his fault that Barcelona dropped points. The overall team wasn't there. We
Yeah,
performed
exactly. Yeah.
poorly. We were sloppy in our passes. We were sloppy in our defending. And even in this, Fabio Silva beats Hector Fort in positioning, and he's able to beat Iñaki Peña, and that's just poor overall play. Raphinha, he does bounce back, and it was an amazing goal from Raphinha. It was a Pedri pass. It was a brilliant strike from outside of the box. It was an absolute rocket into the bottom right-hand corner. Citizen can't do anything about that. Raphinha, I honestly saw that when Barcelona went down, I think Raphinha was one of the few players that made you think that something can happen. Obviously, Lamine Yamal came on at the start of the second half, but this is, I would say, a Lamine Yamal coming off of that
They
knock.
were, even after Lamine Yamal came in the second half, they weren't finding him that much. They were like passing to Gerard Martin instead of passing more ball to Lamine Yamal. I don't know what they were doing.
Well, they did a good job of defending him. They try to have two guys on him multiple times,
Yeah.
um,
Same
and
thing.
Yeah,
it
I
was
mean,
difficult.
Inigo,
You can't really
look at
do
Inigo's
much
passing
because they
in the
were hungry.
second half. He was passing to Gerard Martin more rather than passing to Lamine Yamal.
Uh-huh.
I mean, what else can you do? Because you're lacking but creativity. Like what? As good as Raphinha is, he's not really a creator. He's more like a counter attacking
Again,
player.
I'm just in the second half. We should have done better, man. We had all the
Yeah,
players in second half on the pitch.
yeah. I'm not. Yeah, you're right. We should have done better. But again, when you look players' profile, like with Raphinha, I said, yeah, he's good, but he's a counter attacking type of player. Like yes, yeah, sure, you can say Raphinha creates, but can he really create like an Olmo or a Pedri? Not really. He can just do
Uh-huh.
what he
Mm-hmm.
can do. Yeah, yeah. Don't get me wrong, he scored a goal, fantastic. But again, when you look at it, the different type of player.
Uh-huh. And we talked about this, like during the stream and everything, during the watch long. But when you look at this lineup, you don't really see, for example, attacking threat out on the wings necessarily. Raphinha, a great player who likes to go into space, but then again, he likes to drift
A
inside as
great
well.
player who can't beat his man.
Yeah, yeah. For example, he's not great in the 1v1. Kunde is not a right back. He is a center back by nature. He's more focused on defending than attacking.
Yeah.
By the way,
Balde,
Kunde's third bad game in a row.
I feel like yeah, not gonna lie, I feel like him and Hector Porter are so similar. Like they both like to defend as a right back.
yeah, they both like to defend. See, but the thing is, your primary creators and your primary like outlet on your flanks should not be your fullbacks. That those should be your wingers. It shouldn't be
Yes,
your
but
fullbacks. It should
again,
add, but it shouldn't be your
yeah,
sole
yeah, you're right.
pillar.
You're right. You have to be the wingers.
We didn't
The
have a
bench.
winger though, we didn't have any winger in this game, in
Yeah,
first
that's what.
half at least.
And that's where
There
and
has
if
to, there has to
Also,
be games
Kunde,
where
uh,
there has to be games
also
when
Kunde
the
without
fullback has to make
Lamine
a
Yamal on the
creation.
wing looks like very shady, shady player.
Like come on,
but
like for the fullbacks, obviously you also have to create just like how Jordi Alba and Dani always did back then. I'm not saying that they're the same quality. I'm just saying for a fullback in Barcelona, you also have to
no,
be a playmaker as well, not only as a defender.
no,
That's how it works.
I agree. I agree. But then again, Balde, he's very young in his career. I'm pretty sure that's something that he's
Come
going to
on, bro.
grow.
Stop. He
And
can't
but
use so young anymore, bro. He's 23 now, bro. He has to be able to
no,
cross
what do you
and
mean? I'm pretty sure Balde's 21.
he's
Yeah,
22
Balde,
Badley has
now.
been
He's
better,
like
could
yeah,
better,
but Balde's 21. This is his second, what? No, his third season
third
as a.
season already. He should be able to cross properly now, bro. You can't be relying.
I'm just from,
If Lamine Yamal
yeah,
and
I
Koulibaly
agree.
can
I totally
cross,
agree with you. It's just that at least whenever Badley crosses the ball, at least we get a corner, even though we don't get a
yeah,
great
yeah,
cross.
true. But again, when you look at it, though, like the fullbacks have to like learn how to come on. Like if Lamine Yamal and Koulibaly can cross at their age, come on, you're 21. You should be able to cross now. So I'm not saying that they're the same quality. I'm not saying they're the same quality, but you should
Yeah,
be able to like cross.
No,
it's
you're right.
it's been his problem, since he debut for Barcelona.
Yeah.
That's why I
Um.
was surprised in that El Clasico that he made a great cross.
Yeah, like even Kundi is against He should be yeah. I mean Kundi's really good at crossing to be honest. To be fair, to be fair. But again, for fullback, you gotta learn how to. You gotta be able to like. Because again, if you're playing for a first, if you're playing for the full team, a first team, you should be. You're not a young sorry anymore. You're an adult now. You should be able to
No,
like.
What
I
happened to
agree.
Danny Olmo today?
I don't know.
Apparently he had some discomfort, and that's why he didn't play. I
Yeah,
honestly thought that Danny Olmo, he would have added so much quality. He would have at
true.
least finished one of those chances that Barcelona had towards the end of the game. Because
I
Barcelona had multiple chances. You had
I feel like
I
it's better.
believe
I think
Yeah, but not gonna lie, it's better that he didn't play today. Feel like
how many games did we
because
played
Mallorca is gonna be
this
hard.
season?
so in La Liga we played 15, and in the Champions League I think we played
Four,
five,
four or
five,
five.
four.
I
Yeah,
think
that
Yeah,
if we
yeah,
count as all,
five.
overall 20 games, then Danny Olmo gave us like five games in this season out of
mhm.
20. That's all
That-
I can remember.
yeah, around there. I mean, that's one of Danny Olmo's like biggest problems. It's his injury record, and everything. He's going to be
That's why,
picking up a lot.
everyone was saying that, he's very injury prone. He isn't
Mhm.
available.
Huh?
5
I
to
you know
20 game ratio is very bad.
I think that to substitute that Barcelona, they're just gonna have to sign more players. For example, I think Dani Olmo would be a great player to have in your squad. When he is fit, he can play, be the starter in the number 10. But you also need to be relying on other players. For example, like let's say you buy a Nico Williams, but Rafa Leao, a Carrasquelia, whatever winger you fancy, and you play maybe Raphinha in the 10. You have Lamine Yamal on the right, Nico, Rafa Leao, Carrasquelia,
Yeah, just remember, like
whoever on
Leao,
the other wing.
Nico, they're not gonna lower this salary that much. Like if he's gonna be a backup, he's not gonna lower his fucking salary that much. I'm
No,
right
no,
now.
no, 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 no. Like those players that they come, they're going to be a starter. For example, they're going to be a
I
Just
starter.
mean,
get rid of Frankie
what do
de
you do
Jong. We
with
can
Rafinha
buy
then?
both Nico and Lamin's salary.
What do you do? What do you do with Rafinha? Rafinha's on like although Rafinha's like limited, but still he's very impactful as a
No,
player.
no,
What?
no, no. But what
Yeah,
I see
we can
doing
play
is
Raphinha always as a yeah, we can always play Raphinha as a number 10 because
Yeah, but
Danny
yeah,
Olmo is
back in
injured most of the game.
yeah, back in almost but when almost fits, he Well, well, yeah, but again, this summer, if we're gonna buy players, we're gonna buy players that actually become like rotational players, like actually like well experienced players, like probably like 24, 25 years old now, or
Mhm. I disagree. I think if we order by players, I would want them to be a starter. Like be competing and just say, hey, like I'm
yeah,
here to be a
no,
starter as
no.
well.
But again, when you look at it though, like you gotta balance it out, man. Not everybody has to be a starter.
See, but you're not going to be paying money for a player to be sitting on the bench. You'd rather be looking at what La Masia can give you. You're not going to go out into the
Yeah,
market,
yeah, I'm
for
saying,
example,
yeah,
and have
yeah. So when you say La
depth for your
Masia,
fullbacks and have them be of the quality of let's say, or go out into the market and sign, a Semedo, a Junior Firpo, when you can have a J. Martin, you can have a Hector Ford, who,
no, I'm
let's
yeah,
say they're not the
yeah,
best
yeah.
quality,
You're
but
right.
you
You're
know that
right.
they're going to give at least 100% for
Yeah,
the bat.
you're right. But again, I'm not saying buy players like a junior player for quality. I'm talking about like a really good quality players that in a good price. But again, you said about La Masia, but La Masia can just bring you as much as they can.
No,
Not,
I completely agree. I'm saying you rely on La Masia to be your backup, and let's say
yeah,
they have
for
a
sure.
gem,
But
you'll
yeah,
be your
you're right.
starter. But if you're going to go into the market, make sure it's a superstar. Make sure it's going to be a player who you say, hey, there is absolutely nothing in La Masia that can match this. For example, a player
But no,
of
but yeah,
quality that
but
you
that's
say,
not how Barca
wow.
works, though. Yes. La Masia is what we need. Oh, and I mean the main priority. But again, we buy players like not outside Barcelona who are not really a superstar because there's a lot of players that sign for us, rotational players that was really good for us.
I see,
Guys,
but like,
I
in
mean,
which month the season
Adriano
started?
Correa,
Can you
Adriano
remember?
Correa, backup for Jordi Alba, who you bought in Sevilla back then. He's not La Masia. He came from Sevilla, and look what happened. He became a solid backup for Jordi Alba. That's
oh yeah,
how we run.
I'm sorry, but like, who was it?
Adriano Correa from Sevilla. We bought him back
I
then
don't. Oh, I
as a
mean, yeah,
backup.
but then again, like he didn't play too much.
I mean, yeah, he didn't really play that much, but then when he was named, when his name was called, he performed.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, that's why I
But
said that's why it cannot be all La Masia. Yes, La Masia is a main core, but not every La Masia is gonna be the same. Was it
no, I
again?
no, I completely agree. Like we have the same point. We agree.
Yeah,
You know, La Masia should not be your end all and be all. Like you should be going out into
yes,
the
like some
market.
players, yes, for sure.
But I
Yes,
I,
like
I
Raphinha.
say if you're going out in the market, they have to be a starter. I personally don't want to go out into the market for a rotational player or anything like that,
No,
because
no,
then I think
no,
you're just wasting money.
no.
Um,
What are you're gonna run La Masia as a rotational player, where they just can bring you as much as you can. Let's say 21. What happened if the starters get injured? What you're gonna run La Masia then? They can just bring you like what? Not everybody can be like Lamine Yamal or a Gavi.
no, I agree. I think we're just having the same conversation. Then again, bring the example of our fullbacks. Our starters are Balde and Jules Kounde. Our backups are Hector Fort and Jay Martin. I am not going to be looking at a backup for any of these two players.
I
If you're
mean,
going to be
Hector
looking
Ford is
for a
okay.
fullback
Yeah,
depth,
there it's good for right back,
yeah, but
but left back,
he's a good backup.
yeah,
If you're going to be going out and buying a starter, you say you get Alfonso Davies, but that's to replace Balde. That's to say, hey, Balde, you're
oh
going to
no,
be
yeah, that's true,
having.
yeah, but again,
It's basically, if you're going to be going into the market, you have to buy a player who's going to be a starter. Just simple as that.
no,
But
no, he doesn't have to be a starter though. He has to be like a high
uh,
quality
no,
super sub. That's how he
see,
goes.
see, but I disagree with you there. But NJ, this is not a
Yeah,
discussion
me
that,
too.
yeah, like this is a discussion that we should be having, for example, like on Monday. Let's focus on the game because I don't want to be going having on tangents like too much or anything like that. But continuing on into the game, guys. Barcelona, they had this chance from Raphinha. It was a really good strike from the free kick, but it was a great Silesen save. And also, guys, we have to talk about Silesen. He had a really good game tonight against Barcelona.
All this Barca player, ex-Barca player, if they would have performed like this at Barca, they would have had a great career.
I
Of
mean,
such
Silesen,
man.
like he performed when he was called up upon, you know.
Like to be fair with listen, like my whole life watching Barcelona from the 90s to now, I feel like he's the best backup we ever had. To be honest,
I agree. Yeah, I
that's the
think Silesen
thing.
was amazing.
When you compare to like Sergio Busquets' dad to Pinto to Silicon's the best backup we ever had.
Hmm.
To be fair,
Also, guys, what do you guys make of this potential penalty? As you guys can see right here, this Las Palmas player steps on Pau Cuarci, and Pau Cuarci after the match, there was like some blood on his ankle and everything like that.
I mean, it
Do you
happens,
guys
bro.
do you guys think
Yeah.
that this is a penalty or no?
Not really, to be honest. Like stepping the foot. Sometimes it happens.
Okay.
I'm
Like
just
like
saying
like
that
remember that?
this is
Yo,
yeah, I'm just saying this is not football, this is La Liga. If they would have wanted to give it, then if they would have gave it, all the people would have said that yeah, it could be a penalty.
remember that earlier, Elias? One of the players got. I think one of the players got stepped on, and he didn't. Wasn't really a penalty. Yeah, it was kind of similar to that. To be honest.
Mm.
I forgot which
Uh,
game was it when we were arguing about it. Like oh yeah, the one that got stepped on. Remember that?
yeah. Uh-huh. See. The thing is with La Liga is, I'm perfectly fine with this not being given as a penalty. But the thing is, you see in some other games, you see this sometimes being given as a penalty, and then you're
I mean,
frustrated because
depends on the
then
ref,
you're
to be
thinking
honest.
like no, but for example, that's for example on La Liga and the ref saying, hey, what's the consensus? Is any time you're stepping on a player a foul, or is it just outside the box? It's just, sometimes it's a little bit ridiculous how La Liga managed the whole
Yeah,
situation.
it depends on
Um,
the ref as well. To be honest.
mhm. But when we look at the wider picture as a whole, Barcelona, as we said, they have 1 point in out of possible nine. We've only gained 1 point in the last three matches. That's very bad. We
It
thought the
is
game
bad.
against Brest was going to be
You
a
know, since the
a bounce
season
back.
since the season started, we played very great, for 3 months, and in 1 month that we play bad, we lost all the lead. It's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
hmm But I would say that this is bad. Especially because looking at our previously dropped points against Real Sociedad, you can drop points to Real Sociedad. That's perfectly normal, especially away from home. Celta de Vigo, we know it's a tricky occasion. You can drop points there. But against Las Palmas, man, at
I mean,
home,
I mean,
you
although they're in the bottom, they can play football. To be honest, like they're good
no,
at.
no, no, no. I'm sorry. I don't
I
care
mean,
if it's the best.
that's on you because
I don't. It's the best. If the best Las Palmas team in history, if they come to our home stadium, we cannot be dropping points to them. I'm
I mean it
sorry.
happens. It's football.
No, NJ, the last time we've lost to Las Palmas at our
I
home
know.
stadium was
Yeah,
in
1971. I
1971.
know, I
That's
know.
ridiculous. I'm sorry. Like, it doesn't matter if the greatest Las Palmas team come to the Camp Nou or this stadium that we're at, the Olympic. We should not be
I'm
dropping
talking about
points to
this
Las
year.
Palmas.
This year, although they're in the bottom, they can play football, and they
Yeah,
showed that
they
they
yeah,
can. Yeah,
they're a quality team, but but Barcelona should not be losing them regardless of that. Every single team in La Liga
no,
is a quality
no,
team when you look at
nothing,
that.
nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed though. It shows you.
Who
Obviously, RNG,
who
you
is
have to
saying
believe
that
them.
who is saying that everything is a guarantee? It's just that we shouldn't be dropping points against these teams. Real
Exactly.
Sociedad, Celta Vigo, it's understandable.
Yeah, I know that we shouldn't be dropping points, but it is what it is. We drop points.
No, of course, and it's disappointing. Barcelona,
Yeah.
they're gonna have to reflect on this, and when we look at our games ahead, they're not relatively easy. Let me bring it up right here, and everything just so you guys can see. But the fixtures for our upcoming matches, you're gonna have Mallorca away from home. That's going to be a tricky game. Real Betis away from home. That's going to be a tricky game. The game against Dortmund away from home in the Champions League. That's going to be a tricky game.
Oh, we're talking about La Liga, right? Just La Liga on yourself.
No, yeah, just La Liga. Because in the Champions League, it's a whole different story. But in La Liga, two tricky away games are the game against Tuesday on Tuesday, and the game next weekend on Saturday. And then, after our game in midweek against Borussia Dortmund, we have against Leganes and the game against Atletico Madrid. Two games in which Barcelona, um, you know, have an
So
opportunity
wait,
at
so four
home
games,
to build points. You know,
4 games then. So Mallorca, we should be. It's gonna be a tricky one. We could win that, but it won't be like a convincing win. But
After
Real
after
Betis,
watching, after watching all these games, I can draw one conclusion that with our starting lineup, we can beat Liverpool, Real Madrid, Bayern, any team on the planet. But if we don't have our starting lineup, then we can lose to Getafe, Las Palmas, and all these teams. That's the point, I think.
Mm.
I mean, Real Betis will be very tricky, but well, they got a lot of like former La Masia players there who can actually play ball
And
there.
Saket, and one thing to build upon your point is that with injuries added on top of that, it makes things even more difficult. And you want to give even more praise to Hansi Flick for having that amazing run at the start of the season with even more injuries. When he basically had half of the team injured and everything like that.
I also don't get it, one third of the season is over, and Ronald Araujo, Christensen, and Frankie De Jong, all these players are not even fully fit, even after
Yeah.
all this time. I don't know what is happening with them.
Wait,
I
so
mean,
what do you mean? What
long
do you
term
mean?
It's not
injuries.
like they had like ACL or meniscus injury. I think it isn't like that. They are
Hmm.
Yeah,
taking
definitely.
too much
Like,
time,
listen,
man.
like, listen. If they say a green light, it doesn't mean that you're fully fit. It means that yeah, you can start training and stuff like that. But it's up to the coach if he wants to play you, right? So at least what it is, it happens.
Well, boys, Barcelona, more drop points. Unfortunately, it's not the thing that we want to hear. But in midweek, we're gonna have a chance to bounce back against Mallorca. Let's see what Barcelona turns up. Is it the Barca that we've been seeing in the Champions League? That's been absolutely destroying teams, or is it the team that we've been seeing in the last three La Liga matches? In which we've struggled and been unconvincing. But guys, that was it for the match reaction. Definitely let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. What do you guys make of Barcelona's defeat to Las Palmas at home? And boys, thank you guys for watching. And unfortunately, uh, it's bad vibes. But thank you, NJ. Thank you, Saga, for tuning in. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.